Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page. Tonight's movie is 1982's Jess Franco's Cecilia. Here it is, folks. Jess Franco's Cecilia. This is put out by the distribution company Blue Underground, and this is from 1982. It stars Muriel, I believe it's Montos. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Muriel Montos. She's on the cover right here. There's also some shots of her on the back. You can see her actually in a small role in the movie Devil Hunter by Jess Franco also. And I don't know if she's been in anything else, but we will soon discover it as the time goes on here. And as I continually discover new Jess Franco films. Cecilia, the tagline is Diary of a Desperate Housewife. That's what it says in the back of this Blue Underground release. You can get this for a fairly good price on Amazon right now, but I had this feeling like it could go out of print shortly, since it's been out for quite some time actually from Blue Underground. So we shall see. But actually, 2013, so not that long. Cecilia is a very, very interesting film. Wow. I just got through it. First off, it's one of the longest Jess Franco films I've seen. It's close to 2 hours. It's about an hour and 45 minutes. I don't even know where to begin here, like most Jess Franco films, but I will tell you this. The menu screen is something special. The menu screen really sets you up for the vibe of the film and the opening shots of this film as well. Let's get into this film a little bit here. One of the things I want to say is that basically this is a film, this is a movie, a story about a married couple, and they are experimenting with free love in their marriage. While it doesn't seem like it's a concept that is foreign in Jess Franco films, because there are always characters, there are always relationships, and people in his films in some form or fashion that are dealing with this area, a little bit of a Marquis de Sade area in here as well. In this particular film, there are a lot of different themes running around here and a lot of different elements running around here. This is a very controversial film in my view. This is a very dangerous film, a very politically incorrect film, a very offensive movie actually, in many ways to most people, I would say. It's also known as the sexual aberrations of a housewife. We have the controversial, offensive themes of rape and how rape can enlighten a woman in some form or fashion. We have the concepts of women being slaves to men in our society, the gender issues in there as well. We have areas of incest in this film. We have areas of pedophilia in this film. If you thought Jess Franco's Sadomania was shocking in some of the things in the film, this film does it in even a more dangerous manner, because it's a much more kind of elusive, beautiful type of manner, as opposed to Sadomania, Jess Franco's Sadomania, which I will review in the future, which is really kind of a rough, women in prison type of film. Now, if we go to the music of this film, the music of this film is really something special. It's done by Daniel White, as it says in the very peculiar yet beautiful, serene opening credits. The music almost lulls you into like this serene trance, this like you're hypnotized. I mean, it's a really serene, beautiful, and at the same time quite creepy music. At times it sounds like an organ. At times it sounds like it's carnival music, almost sometimes similar to Virgin Among the Living Dead by Jess Franco. And then there are sections of the film. There's one section of the film where the music gets very mystical and ritualistic and weird and bizarre and foreign and dark, very dark and discordant. Um, and there's a theme that runs through the film that is that very kind of that trance, like hypnotized, like beautiful, eerie, and the visuals of this film. Franco has always focused on nature. He has always focused on nature in between the crazy scenes of his films. He'll go to a flower, he'll go to a monkey. In this film, the flowers and the flowers and pink flowers in particular really play a huge role with his camera. He's also doing things with focus in this film and going into focus and going out of focus gradually, even the end of this movie with focus. Um, and he's also doing he is doing zooms in this film. He's doing zooms pretty equally to in particular with the sex scenes, in particular with the nudity, zooms into butts, zooms into guys' butts, zooms into humping, zooms into men's chests and women's chests, and you know where you're going here when you have the opening credits of this film where the actual title cards look very bizarre, like they were placed on top of there, like frozen or paused, like with a weird like wedding video from the 80s system or something. Very interesting. And you're watching the opening credits with this serene music, and you're looking at the flowers, and you're looking at this Caribbean type of, I don't know where it was filmed, but there are flowers and stone statues and palm trees, and then all of a sudden, those stone statues of like babies, like that you would see like at a fountain or something. All of a sudden, the camera zooms in to the stone statue baby's penis that's like this big, and at that point, holy crap, what am I getting myself into? Why did that just happen? It's a Jess Franco film, folks. Um, this film, gosh, I mean, while this is a concept of the free love that's looked at in a lot of Jess Franco films, this is the core of the movie, and the movie has it has romance, and it also has darkness, and it also has eroticism. Franco also finds a mirror in this film that he likes a lot, but it's a mirror that's kind of segmented into these parts that are divided with non-mirror substances. When people are in front of the mirror, they're kind of broken up into pieces, and it makes them kind of discordant and kind of you know, kind of unable to be seen properly, and kind of surreal in a way. So he is using a mirror, or mirrors in this film in particular. The architecture in this film, the homes are unbelievable. In particular, the main home with the pillars and the way Franco uses the pillars up and down, going down the long hallway. I mean, the garden around this home that almost looks like a mosque. I mean, it's unbelievable. The architecture, definitely wealthy, a wealthy type of building and home that he used here. Also, the costumes in this film, or when people are wearing clothes. I mean, the main girl, Muriel Montos, my gosh, who plays Cecilia. There's a couple outfits that she wears in the latter portion of the film that are like, what? Like, where did it come from? Like almost like Middle Eastern, or like a belly dancer, or like a ritualistic voodoo practitioner or something. And there's a section of this film where Franco almost is filming Cecilia as if she's modeling for him, and she brushes her face up against these pink flowers that by the end of the film are dying. I mean, there's like very interesting this one section of the film. Now, she is naked for most of the film, definitely naked for most of the film, and she's a full-figured, more curvaceous woman, a very pretty woman with freckles on her face and her body and her presence, very seductive, very erotic woman, Muriel Montos, even in Devil Hunter. And the sex scenes in this film, while they are, would be considered soft core, and simulated humping and things like that, there is sucking of nipples. You are seeing a penis in one scene and almost an erect penis in one scene, and you are seeing a lot of implied sex, but the sex is very beyond R. Even though it's soft core, it is very erotic. It's very seductive. It's very extreme in its ways. And this film focuses on those sex scenes in many ways. And the sex scenes you kind of dive into the emotions of what's happening between this couple in the sex scenes. There's also a lot of weird things with class in this film. Of course, Cecilia's wealthy. Her husband is wealthy. You've seen her husband in other Franco films, by the way. Um, and there's wealthy aspect, and then there's like these poor men that Cecilia is kind of embarking on her free love with, and even one guy in particular. Lena Romay also plays in this film in a very peculiar role. um, oh my gosh, that deals with the pedophilia and the incest and almost this bizarre dark show that she puts on. And there's and not at a nightclub but inside of homes, and then also in a club. And there's also a section where she's holding the stage light, and you can almost sense that she is behind her husband with this film as you, the viewer, embark on this insane, beautiful, serene, weird, dark journey into Cecilia. And Lena Romay pulls the light across as if you are, she is with her husband on this, and she is displaying Cecilia to you herself, and she understands her husband's world, Mr. Jess Franco. Um, this is a very dangerous film, a very weird film, a very erotic film, a very seductive film, a film that puts you in a trance, and at the same time, it's abrasive. There are multiple rape scenes in here, and like I said, this is a very politically incorrect film. This is a film that would never be made in 2016, um, maybe on the underground, but the way that it's done is not in a shocking manner. It's done in a very, very serious, almost romantic manner. There's also some very bizarre characters at a party that are saying weird dialogue about abortions. It's almost like black humor, or is it? Folks, this is Cecilia 1982 by Jess Franco, Muriel Montos. She is awesome in this film. The acting is actually great, even if the dubbing is crazy. The acting is great. She's great, and her husband is great. Look at their expressions, folks. And there is wild sex in this film. There are some orgies. There's lesbian, straight, everything. It's a crazy, crazy, wild movie. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bazaar YouTube page. Check out my own films at youtube.com/poopydiarrhea. And good night.